Okay, so the engine is started. And then what we're going to do is we're going to taxi out and cross the runway. Okay, so he's given us the clearance to go. So you can see I'm using my feet down there. I'm going to control our speed with the throttle here. I don't want to go too fast, so I'm just going to have just the tiniest bit of power into it. Alright, see that guy taking off? We can't go on the runway until he's clear. The runway belongs to him right now. There's another guy taking off right there. So what we'll do...
Runway Charlie Skyhawk 99243, turning right, crosswind runway 33.
Meadowlake traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike is crossing at Bravo 2. We'll be quick and out of the way.
And 5-8 Roman Kilo, we're about a mile and a half out, entering downwind 33 Meadow Lake. Cherokee 5650, right crosswind behind 243 eastbound.
Okay, so you hear all the chatter. That's all the other airplanes. And they're all going to sound kind of the same.
Runway Charlie Skyhawk 99243, turning right, downwind for 33. And I'll be exiting the pattern to the southeast on the downwind. And 5-8 Roman Kilo is midfield, downwind 33.
So they're,
traffic, Fairmount 1 Yankee Bravo, green ditch inbound.
so they're all talking about what they're doing, and they identify themselves by their aircraft call sign. So our aircraft call sign is right here. We are a Sonics, that's the type of airplane we are, Sonics, and our call sign is 604 Charlie Mike. And we use the phonetic alphabet instead of just the letters. So instead of saying CM, we use C, Charlie, M, Mike. So whenever we talk to the other pilots, we're going to tell them who we are and then what we're doing. So we might say 604 Charlie Mike taking off, or 604 Charlie Mike crossing the runway, something like that. That make sense? Alright, so you can see that the nose right now is kind of up in the air because the tail is on the ground. Makes it kind of hard to see where we're going. So occasionally we have to kind of turn a little bit so we can see out the side. When I turn a little bit, I can kind of see over there. And I got to kind of keep doing what's called S-turns to clear the area in front of me. Alright. Put that right there. How you feeling? Good?
Yep.
Alright, if you start feeling less than good, even a little bit, I want you to tell me.
Okay.
Okay? We got a little air vent right here. Sometimes opening that air vent and blowing a little air in your face will make you feel better. I'll close that up until you want it. But you just tell me if you're having a great time, that's great. If you're not, then tell me, and that way I can try and make things as smooth as possible. I've never had anybody have less than an absolute awesome time, so. And we're not really going to do any barrel rolls. I was just teasing.
I know. They said that last time.
Alright, so this guy's waiting to take off. So we're going to kind of get over here, out of the way, and wait our turn. So see how we're all kind of aiming this way so we can see the runway? We want to make sure that it's clear before we pull out onto the runway. Only one person has a right-of-way, and it's usually the landing airplane. So this guy's coming in, he's going to make his landing, and then this guy's going to move out on the runway and take off as soon as that guy's clear. Now if this airport had a control tower, There would be a person working in the control tower that would be giving instructions to everybody. Who would say, you're cleared to land, and now it's you're cleared to take off, and all that. But there is no control tower. So the pilots work together to coordinate their activities. I'm going to switch back over to the frequency and make sure we're ready to go here. So this sailor airplane right here is looking down the runway. He's waiting for that plane to get it out of the way before he starts his takeoff. Alright, here we go. I'm going to make my radio call and we're out of here. Metal Lake traffic, Sonic 604, Charlie Mike, departing 33. Alright, fuel valves on, mixture's rich, canopy's latched, trim is set. We're ready to go. I advance the power on the throttle here, let the airplane accelerate.
Hey Hank, what altitude you coming in at? I'm at 8,100 right now, be descending to 77 shortly. Okay, are you going to be on the south side of 24? Yeah, I'm on the south side now.
Alright, and we're flying.
Metal Lake traffic, green RV taking 33, departure northeast Metal Lake.
Alright, we'll give it a little wing wag. Alright, so we got this airplane right in front of us. We got to stay out of his way. So we're going to swing out over here and give him a little bit of room.
Okay.
Cherokee 56 Whiskey is now the green ditch, inbound for 33 Metal Lake.
Alright. How'd that takeoff feel?
It's okay.
Yeah?
I
Good.
feel some G-forces pulling.
Yeah.
Metal Lake traffic, Bonanza 60 Bravo. Over the greenhouses, inbound 33 Metal Lake.
So there's that other airplane. We're just going to kind of give him plenty of room and kind of swing out this way.
Okay.
Metal Lake traffic, Cherokee 56 Whiskey, 2 miles northeast on the 45 for right downwind 33 Metal Lake Young Eagles.
Alright, so we're at about, not quite 1,000 feet. We got a great view of everything. We can see houses, cars, we got a bunch of cows in the field over there. So our instruments here are giving us all the information we need. There's our airspeed. We're doing 120, 121 right now. Our altitude is 7,600, 7660, 7,660. And all of our engine instruments, our throttle, our oil temperature and pressure. So you can see we're in the green, and we're almost in the green. It's running a little cool. This is kind of a cool morning. All of our cylinder temperatures, they're all in the green. Everything's good. Got a little bit of bumps going on, but other than that, it's a great day to fly.
That black forest?
What's that?
That black forest over there?
Yep, it is. And it's all over this way, too.
Hey,
Do you live out that way?
I live in Falcon.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I don't know exactly where.
Yeah.
I think he looks kind of close to platform.
Yeah. When we turn over this way, if you look out your window, you'll see it back over there. You'll see all the trees and, yep. We're right at kind of the edge of it right here. Alright, so notice we're making a turn. I just very slightly roll the wings into the turn, and we start to make a nice curving path. It's a lot like riding a bike where you kind of lean into the turn in your bike. Very much the same idea. There's another RV up there. You see him up top?
Hi.
Yeah. So when we're out here flying, we're always looking around to make sure that we're not going to run into anybody else. Now, see that cloud that's coming off the back of that airliner? That's called the contrail. That airliner's way up high,
Oh, wow.
30,000 feet or so, but we can see his contrail coming off pretty clear.
I always thought they were like Air Force jets.
Yep, there's another one up there. He's going that way. As those airliners are flying through the air, they disturb things, and it forms a cloud behind them.
Wow.
And so it's actually a cloud. It's not like exhaust or anything. It's a regular old cloud.
That's cool. Alright, I think we're going to switch back over to the airport frequency so we can listen to what's going on.
Okay, we got him on the... Headlight traffic, Bonanza 60 Bravo. On final for 33 Malik.
Alright, so we kind of followed the road out this way, and we made our turn, and now we're kind of heading back towards the airport. You can't really see it clearly, but if you look out right over there...
Young Eagles 86 Lima is on the 45 for runway 33, about 3 miles south.
That cluster of buildings over there is the airport.
Oh. I think I see it.
There's a helicopter going the other way.
How fast do they go?
About 100 to 125.
Green RV, turning right downwind for 33, full stop, Young Eagles, Metal Lake.
So the fastest helicopters are still quite a bit slower than the fastest airplanes. A really fast helicopter is like 150, maybe close to 200 miles an hour. But
Are you midfield, Green RV? Midfield.
Lots of airplanes can do that easy. So they're relatively
You got
slow.
plenty of time if you need to get out. No, I'm behind you.
Are they funner than airplanes?
They're different. They're not as maneuverable in like aerobatic flight, but you can fly slow and you can creep around. That's why the Army loves to use them, is because you can put troops in right where you want them, not just at an airport.
You land in a field with
Green
this?
RV, right base, 33, landed long, Young Eagles, Metal Lake.
You can land pretty much anywhere in those helicopters.
No, in this.
Oh, in this? Land where?
In a field?
You could, but it probably would not be good for the airplane. It needs to be pretty smooth. If it was a nice smooth field, no problem.
Bonanza 60 Bravo, clear, Bravo 2.
Check, 05 Lima on the roll.
Roll, baby.
Alright, so you can see some of the hangar buildings over there. Those long buildings are all hangars with airplanes in them. The runway is out in front of us.
Satellite traffic, green RV, final, full stop. Landing along, Young Eagles, 333.
There's another airplane right there. We're going to get in behind him. We got to slow down here so we don't run up on top of him. Pull up a little bit.
Metal Lake traffic, Young Eagles 86 Lima, right base, runway 33, at full stop.
Metal Lake traffic, Sonic 604, Charlie Mike, downwind, 33, Young Eagles. Okay, so see that guy? He's on what's called the base leg, which is the last turn before he turns to line up with the runway.
Metal Lake traffic, Young Eagles 86 Lima is turning final, runway 33, full stop Metal Lake.
So he's going to turn final, which is his final turn, and we're going to turn base. Metal Lake traffic, Sonic 604, Charlie Mike, turning base, 33.
On the land long, Sonic.
Okay.
Metal Lake traffic, green RV, clear, 33 at Bravo 2.
So what he told us is that he was going to land long, which means he's going to land further down the runway. Because we got to go to the very front end over there. So he doesn't want to have to taxi all the way down. That helps us know kind of what he's planning to do.
Now, Sonic 86 Lima, I'm going to be taxiing up to Bravo 2 so we don't have a conflict on the taxiway.
Okay, I'm going to the same place. I'll be right behind you. Alright, so got the airplane configured the way we want it. We're going to put in a little bit of trim to help us out. And we're going to put 1-notch flaps. I'm going to grab the lever and pull 1 notch on. That gets us ready to land. Notice I've got the engine power reduced.
Traffic 88 Charlie's just south and west of the town of Peyton, inbound for right traffic 33 Metal Lake.
Alright, so we're right over the runway. And if we do this just right, we'll get a nice smooth touchdown. No, relatively smooth. And I'm steering with my feet to make sure we don't run off the runway. Because the wind is blowing from our side and it's trying to turn us. So we have to fight it.
Metal Lake traffic, Young Eagles 86 Lima is clear on runway 33.
Alright, this is our turn off, so we'll slow down, make sure we don't go into the turn too fast. So I'm kind of pulling back on the brake here. Sonic's clear, Bravo 2.
And Metal Lake traffic, Cozy 20 Mike November is at the north end of the taxi, going to be taxiing down to the run-up area for 33, Metal Lake.
Alright, so we're going to shut the engine down by pulling that lever and letting it burn all the fuel out. When the engine runs out of fuel, it'll stop on its own. We can shut it down by just turning the ignition off like a car, but it's a little healthier for the engine if we burn all the gas out. You're kind of slowing down, and it's done.